Hey adventurers, so today is going to be another book review. This is going to be for Age of Legend by Michael J. Sullivan. This is a high fantasy, epic fantasy, generic fantasy, quest fantasy, kind of just a lot of the same subgenres that go with most of the epic fantasy series that are popular and that we read. Age of Legend is the fourth book in the Legends of the First Empire series by Michael J. Sullivan. This book continues where we left off in book 3, although there is a bit of a time jump between book 3 and book 4. There's like a bit of a truce or a stalemate between the humans and the elves, and I'm not using their in-world names because I can't ever remember what those words are, but they're humans and elves, that's what they are. And during that time we see how things are changing and building towards the back half of this series, which there is a 6-book series. So this change, we are seeing how the things have changed since the ending of book 3 and now this book 4, and what's taking place and why we're at the point that we are while reading book 4 here. Our main characters are attempting to find a way to survive and fight back to the point where they can either win or have peace, but that's not really working, so our main characters have to go on a quest to figure out what can be done. So automatically, with the quest-based aspect of this book, I am predisposed to enjoy it, and that is true, and I have no problem admitting that because I love quests. The quest portion is great for me. I really enjoyed that aspect. The crew that is assembled for the quest is, though not really surprising once you've read the series, definitely an interesting combination of characters, and the quest itself, as well as the things we find out along the way, cause this aspect to be interesting to me, cause especially the whole aspect of the quest to be interesting to me. The characters, the quests that they're going on, and the things that we're finding out along the way. That's why quests are interesting to me, but it's especially true with this one. We also see a lot of world building, and especially in terms of in-world myths and stories. This series is the Legend of the First Empire, but even now there are pre-existing legends that have to be reconciled. We've slowly been introduced to them over the first 3 books, but they're just myths, right? Well, we are actually now seeing if that is accurate or not. Those myths return to the forefront of the world and actually inform the story being told to a large degree. Not like they're not the reason why the story is being told, but there's some aspects of that to it, and they're directly influencing things. What we know of them and the truth of them really influences greatly what happens and ties back into that quest aspect. I feel like this is kind of where Sullivan shines as an author, because I've talked about my complaints and my problems with this series in the previous videos, but I really feel like this aspect of him bringing in the different myths into the current mythology of this world is really interesting in the way that we're seeing the events recorded and why they're being recorded in the way that they are. I feel like that's a positive and an interesting aspect. Before I continue with this review, though, I'd just quickly like to say welcome to an Erudite adventure. I'm T. If you're liking what you're seeing from us, please like, comment, and subscribe. So I've mentioned in this video already, but there is something strange about this series. To start with, it feels like a prequel, and I've clearly already mentioned that in previous videos. I've definitely mentioned that. Of course, it is a prequel, so it's not surprising that it feels like a prequel. But it feels so weirdly like one, and that is not something that I love a ton. I don't know how to describe this feeling, but I watch this, or I read this book, listen to these books, and all I can think of is there's things that are happening in the future that are more important than whatever's going on now. This portion of the story just feels like a prequel for the sake of filling in this history that we really don't know about or care about, and maybe it's just me not having read the original books or something else entirely. I don't know, but there's something about this series that, even though I know it's a prequel, it feels like a prequel in a very strange way. Like it feels like this series could not exist on its own without the original, and that's weird to me. I don't understand how that is. It also has technological advancements that sometimes feel a little bit forced, but the main aspect that I notice in this book is that in the midst of these narratives, the world-shaping events that are taking place, Sullivan tries to ground our story by seeing it through the eyes of our main characters. We have our 8 characters or whatever 9 characters or something that are going on this quest, and they're all our main characters, and there's a couple other main characters that we follow from the different areas of the world and aspects of the story. And so Sullivan tries to ground us in the story of this massive world-changing events by focusing on these characters' individual stories. And for some reason, it doesn't work for me. What relatability the characters might have does not affect my connection to the story being told, and it actually takes me out of the story a little bit. I don't know how that works entirely. Like, it doesn't quite make sense to me. And I've seen it in other books where it does work really well for me. So, like, I don't understand why Sullivan, what it is about Sullivan's books that this is not working for me. This is not functioning in the way that I need it to or that I want it to. I'm definitely a bit confused by that. Maybe it's just a mixture of all the other things that happen at the same time. I don't know. I don't know what the reason is for it. It's just something that doesn't work for me, even though there's other aspects of the books and series that I do think work as well. With all of that said, though, the ending of this book has me very intrigued, and I most definitely want to, and am excited to continue with book 5. Like, even with the problems that I do have about this series, I am excited to read book 5 because of where it's taking us. And I want to see how that works, how that plays out, how Sullivan builds that story and that world. And I think that's going to be really interesting. I don't think this series will ever be a favorite for me, but I definitely appreciate things about it, and I'm very glad to have read it. Overall, it's not really like a favorite book or anything like that of mine, but I'm still interested in continuing the series, and that's definitely a good sign. So yeah, overall I've enjoyed Legends of the First Empire. It's not my favorite book or series of all time, or book 4 was a good book, decent book, and I am happy to continue the series. It's just one of those ones that it's not high priority for me to continue, other than to finish out the series and have actually completed the series. And so it's not high priority, and it's also not really something where, like, I love every minute of reading the books. I do enjoy them enough to continue, is all that it really is. It's a series that most people, I feel like, would enjoy more than me. I don't know. I feel like it's a far more generic fantasy series, and because of that, most people will like it more than I will. I don't know. I don't know how to really articulate what exactly it is that I'm saying with with my reviews and my thoughts of this book. So anyways, that is my review of Age of Legend by Michael J. Sullivan. Thank you guys for watching an Erudite Adventure. We post videos every Monday and Thursday, and have our social medias linked in the description down below. We'll see you guys again soon. Stay warm.